Good evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. And my name is Ladygwen. I want to believe you had a lovely day and your day has really been productive. Well, every now and then I do come up with this talk show right here on Instagram. It's called Let's Talk with Ladygwen. And for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, and I guess this is like in a long while, this is the first time I'm coming up during the week. But, it really, for me, doesn't really matter whether during the week or the weekend, because it's all about the convenience. I see all of you, Rita Scribe, Tony, Bright Lucky. Hey, I see my baby. She's a broadcaster and she's a great one at that. And I see my very good friend, my sister, dear to my heart. She is someone who looks out for other women, other people in the industry. And that's talking about headliner Omolola Oladimeji. Thank you all for joining me. Well, as I said earlier on, thank you, Bien. As I said earlier on, I do come up, mostly during the weekend, but sometimes during the week as well, because it's just convenient, to do so. And today on Let's Talk with Ladygwen, my guest is someone that a couple of you might be familiar with. She's okay. I beg your pardon. Please forgive me. Forgive me. Right there. Okay. I'm back on. I'm trying to invite my guests. I'm so sorry, for that. Okay. I hope I'm okay. So, EBun Feludu or Latoye is, someone who is well known to other people and well to most women network, and she's my very dear friend, my sister. We belong to the same women group. There is a group of women, female entrepreneurs, manufacturers, those top women in every industry or all kinds of industry doing all kinds of things on this particular group, and it's an international group that has, or rather has, an affiliation with an American upfront and all of that. And EBun Feludu, she is the chairperson of this glorious, wonderful group of women. Over 300 women across Nigeria. And sometimes, on that group, when we have issues with our businesses, with whatever it is, NAFDAC, EFCC, police, you just run to the group and like, does anybody know anybody, anything? And trust me, nobody wants to leave that group. No woman wants to leave the group, because it is a powerful chain of network of women. And so one of the reasons why I decided to bring EBun Feludu onto Let's Talk with Ladygwen today is because she runs an outfit, out of many things she does anyway. She runs an outfit called Jam the Coconut, or pardon me, okay, Jam's Coconut Food Company, right? Did I get that right?
I'll let you land now, and then I'll say my own.
Okay, so she has a whole chain of coconut produce or products, and the beautiful thing about EBun is that she is a great networking force. Now, for our products on, when you go to supermarkets across board in Nigeria, from ShopRite to Walmart, to Hubmart, to anywhere around Nigeria and the world, you get to find her product on the shelf. And that is something that drives me crazy. How she does this food chain and networking, I don't know. So one of the reasons I wanted to one of the reasons I brought her on was to probably, if it's possible, open up her head, probably her mind, whatever it is, and get to know what she knows. So today we'll be talking about marketing, networking, visibility, and guess what? Profitability. So all of these things, I'm sure they all have relationships. So because by the time you add up visibility to your credibility, what is it going to give you? Let's find out. So welcome, sis, the CEO Jams Coconut Food Company. I know I've mixed it over home somehow. All right, so over to you.
Thank you so much, Lady Gwen. Thanks for having me. I always love to do these chats, with friends because it's just, it's just basically two friends chatting and people sort of listening in. That's sort of how I see it. So our company is called JAM, the Coconut Food Company. JAM is an acronym for my children's names, Joba and Abori. And then the M stands for Mama, which is me. So yeah, that's what we do. We set up the company in 2016, started working in 2016, incorporated in 2017. And over time, the journey was so interesting. We started with, first of all, the children selling like these coconut loaves that we used to make, and they used to sell in children's fairs in Lagos, and they would sell out. And then it moved on from there to coconut milk because I was lactose intolerant. And then we started to look for other things that we could make out of this product and the coconuts. And then we went to oils and then different types of oils, coconut lemongrass, coconut lavender. And then we have our flagship coconut cinnamon balls and coconut flakes. And we make coconut bowls out of our shells. A very circular coconut company is what we run. And so, yes, like you said, our products are found in most of the major stores in Nigeria, the ShopRites, the Spars, the EBun, and all of that. And our women's group is actually called the All Ladies League that I chair. I chair the Nigeria chapter. And we probably have about 1,000 women across chapters because we have the Lagos chapter, Abuja chapter, Ibadan chapter, Abeokuta chapter. So we probably have over 1,000 women. And so it's very interesting that those platforms have a great support for women. So if I, for instance, go to Abeokuta, I know that I have women who can support me. If I go to Ibadan, because I oscillate between Lagos and Ibadan a lot. I have women there who can help me because I don't have those resources. I'm an Ibadan girl. I grew up in Ibadan, but I haven't lived in Ibadan in over 20 years. But that platform supports me with things I need. I'm trying to look for a carpenter, a mechanic, or whatever. That platform is there. So just to correct it, our headquarters are not in America, although we do have chapters of ALL in America. The headquarters are in India, and the global chairperson and founder of the All Ladies League is Dr. Habeen Aurora, and I'm the chairperson for Nigeria. And we have maybe over 800 chapters across the world. And it's really built to support women. You can connect with women and you get a lot of support. And yeah, so when we're talking about networking, we're talking about, connecting with fellow humans, fellow women. It's really these sort of platforms that help to do that. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, okay. I think it's just brilliant, having to give us all of this rundown, of what you've been doing and what you stand for and all of that. And like I said earlier on, one of the things for me that I'm always that fascinates me about you is that the way you network your way through. And before you know, yes, yes. I can't fight with you. There are sometimes, I feel like fighting with you, but you're such a powerful woman that sometimes you need to choose who you fight with in life. You are not the one I can fight with. So, so even if I feel like fighting you, because you're so you have a lot to offer. You have a lot of value, a lot of knowledge base that you bring on board. And one of the things that fascinates me so much about you is how you galvanize your way through. You understand? So please teach or tell me, where does networking start for you? I know you've just probably rubbed the edges of even what the all ladies league is all about. I know you belong to other women group. All right. I know there are some other women group you've also set up, and all of that. How do you come about networking with this chain of women? For instance, in all, the women are not just, they're brilliant women. Do you understand? Is it that you go out and you evaluate people, you profile people? I don't know. But so teach us something tonight in terms of networking, and then we can now drive it into marketing.
Okay. Wow. I feel like there's a lot of questions there, but I'll try to sort of take it. The word networking tends to be a bit scary and a bit of a bad word to people. But I think that networking is just connecting with fellow humans. So remember that I'm also coming from a media background, and I own a media company as well. I've done media for 20 some odd years before I started agro processing. I've done other businesses. I've had a jewelry business. I've had several other businesses. But so that's there. So the fact that I've done media, that's there, because I interviewed when I worked at True Love magazine, for instance. I did pretty much 80% of the writing in the magazine. So it meant that I was interviewing so many people. And I liked my work. I didn't study journalism in school, but I love people. I love getting into people's minds, and I love like connecting with people. And that's what that did for me. So it's really, networking is just me meeting people and getting a glimpse into people's minds, and what makes them unique and how they uniquely navigate, the universe. And I try to learn what I can from them. But in addition to that, it's also very important to me that I add value. I don't like one-way relationships. I never ever want to be constantly on the receiving end in a relationship. I always want to make sure that I give and I add value. And so in any relationship where there's a lot of engagement, I always try to look, because a lot of times givers don't even know how to ask for help. So I always try to sort of get ahead of people that I'm engaged with to find out which area in your life can I add value. What am I seeing here? What do I have that I can bring to the table? And I'm very, very actively invested in that. I'm actively invested in that. So when you bring something to the table, you don't feel like a drain. A lot of people, they're kind of looking at, oh, I want to meet this person, I want to know this person, so I can get this thing. And, those people are quite savvy. They've been on earth for a while. So those people that you feel like, oh, I want to network with them, I want to get this, they're savvy. They know when somebody is coming for something, right? If you're seeking a mentor, I'll tell you, for example, I'm in a program where I have mentors in really huge companies in the US. And they're very clear about, what experience they have. And these are some of these people are younger than me. They're very clear about what experience they have that they can bring to the table that can help me. And they're also, open about the fact that they would like to learn this and this and this. So it's a two-way relationship. So we're not going into that relationship because after a while, there's something called donor fatigue. It happens to 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 development agencies that fund projects, and it happens to people. If your relationship with somebody is always, you know, cup in hand, cap in hand, you know, always coming to get, that donor, that, you know, person will get fatigued. So there's something called donor fatigue, even
Right.
in mentor-mentee relationships. So you must always think about, what can I bring to the table? How can I add value in this relationship? And I think that is what drives me. And in addition to that, I'm constantly committed to learning. You know, I'm constantly committed to upping my game, so that even if I know you, the value I brought to you yesterday is different from the value I have tomorrow, because I'm constantly, you know, growing and learning, as well, as we all should, because, you know, whatever isn't growing is really dying anyway. So yeah, I hope that
Um,
answers the question.
oh my goodness. Do you know, um, let me share some of the things I just got from by the way, you're looking beautiful.
And I see
Okay,
my brother just joined. Hi, Dari.
so one of the things you said, when it comes to networking, love people, the love for the people just endears you to want to even get to know them, to want to get to meet them. That's one of the, because I think there are some people, they're just really not, they want to be by themselves, and they prefer their own company. Does that even mean that they do not love people? Because I think there is a point in there, that when you love people, you want to know how they're doing, what progress they're making. You want to know about them. You want to connect with them. All right. So let's take it from there. And then there are other things you said. Networking is getting into people's mind. I love that. And I think if we start approaching networking as to what is Ebun thinking, how is she thinking, then we will ask the right questions. I
Yeah.
believe in that. And then you talked about value, all right? Adding value to other people, seeing where you can help them to grow. And so I think it's still all about, loving people, the need to see other people prosper and do well. All right. So when it comes to certain people, they just love their own company. They just want to be by themselves. How do we tell this kind of people that they're missing out of this networking chain?
You know, this is something I found in my years of in media, and I'm sure you would have found it as well. When we start like our production plan in media, we'd say, oh, we want to talk to this person and this person and this person. And, you know, I think this is also part of where I learned marketing, not taking no for an answer. I would call them, and sometimes you'll be like, oh no, but once you apply a little bit of pressure, you will find that people buck, right? And people may not like people because they don't want to hear what you have to say. But trust me, everybody wants to talk about their own story. Everybody wants to talk about themselves. I've never seen anyone, no matter how introverted they say they are, no matter how, you know, shy they say they are, no matter how modest they say they are, no matter how publicity shy they say they are. Once you start to talk and you allow them to speak, you know, and speak about their unique journey, their unique blueprint of how they navigate the universe, they'll keep talking, because there's only one person that has that story. It's a unique story, and nobody wants to die with their uniqueness. So people also need to learn to allow those people you call introverts, give them airtime, let them talk, allow people to speak. Because if you really truly want to know about, and why do we read biographies, right? It's just to see, what was your blueprint to success? What was your, you know, how did you do this? How did you get through this? So that you can learn from them. And once you, and trust me, most people, once they get to the age of 35, 40, 50, they want to write a book. because they've lived a life. They have something to deposit in the world. And listening to somebody's unique story is just like, reading their book. So that said, let's put that aside. The other thing is, because somebody wants to speak doesn't mean they really want to be around people 24/7. I love being in my house, as outgoing as I appear. During COVID, everybody was like, how did I cope? I was fine. I was fine. I was perfectly fine. Like, we could do the rest of life on earth that way, and I would have just been fine. So I'm really quite happy in my own space, in my home. But when I get out with other humans, I think I know how to sort of navigate that place, how to, give people airtime, how to listen, and how to add value. And we must know ourselves. One must know oneself. Some people are the outgoing kind and they want to be sort of out all the time. And some people are really just, introverted, really, truly, when it gets to the sort of the heart of it. So know yourself, but also know that it's almost impossible to do life on earth alone, but you can do it on your own terms, basically.
Very, very true. I think the solution that you've just proffered is, number one, allow people to speak and share about themselves, their unique story. And you also talked about knowing yourself, learn to give others listening ears. Some of us, we just like to talk. And a lot of Nigerians, we have problem listening, allowing other people to talk, have their say, and then, because we normally like to just jump in, our minds are full. Okay, so having looked so much into networking, how has that helped your business? I remember you and I were somewhere on my birthday. You took me out. Okay, I wasn't supposed to say that. By the way, if you're just jumping in on this live, EBun Feludu is my sister, my friend. All right, so she's just she's here, as a guest, but she's my person. So anyway, back to the story. So we went out, and I was surprised that already you had connected with this open space lounge, and you were already talking business and how to bring in your products and all of that, and you were just comfortable and everything. How has networking affected business, your business sense or your marketing sense?
So in that regard, I'm not sure it's networking that I would say. I have a strong sense of adventure. If you know anything about me, you know my story. I drove from Lagos to London in 2008, and I love to explore. I mean, the world is so big and beautiful, and I just love to explore the world, okay? How I discovered that place, we moved my kids to school in Ibadan, and the place is just around the corner from the school. And I was looking around, I always say you need to observe your environment. So I was looking for where a place where the kids could swim, because they kind of need to do that on a regular basis so that they don't forget the skills and whatnot. And so I drove into this place thinking, because I saw something that looked like a pool, and it's just around the corner from where I live, but I just drove in thinking it was, some place that had a pool. But I drove in, I thought, wow, what is this? Open space, just the things that I love, right? Everybody likes different things, but I love open spaces, I love flowers, I love greenery. Hi, Ume Nourish. And it was just like the perfect, wonderful place. They had trees. And so I found out who the owner was, as I always do, and it kind of turned out to a place where I work out of. I get coffee from there, and I work from there. The kids come, they play golf because they have like a mini, sort of golf thing there,
Oh,
and they have
yeah.
fish. Yeah, they have fish. You can feed the fish. The kids can climb trees, and so I just saw it, I liked it, and but it's that sort of sense of adventure. So many other people who had lived in Ibadan for years didn't know the place existed, and I then, even my own sister, who lived like 3 minutes away from there, but I then started sort of having little events there and inviting people there, and even working with them to design events, so that they could have more patronage and stuff like that. So that is tied to a spirit of adventure. Now, that doesn't come naturally to everyone. I am an adventurous person. I'm always curious to, find something new that will excite me and something new to explore. I don't
Mm.
like to see the same old things or experiences. I want a new experience. I want to explore something new. So that always helps. And for me, I always say, if you go somewhere new, right, where people go, money flows. This is why I have such a great concern that Africa is so closed. It's difficult to sort of get to different African countries. Um, there are economies everywhere people are. There are economies. So if you have a business in Lagos, I mean, why, for instance, does Zenith Bank have branches? Do the banks? Why do they have branches all over Nigeria? Because there are economies everywhere where there are people. And if you have a business and your business is situated in Lagos and all you're thinking about is the Lagos market, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So our business, we have an office in Ibadan, we have an office in Abuja, we have an office in, our factories are in Lagos. But by, dipping our feet into all of those places as explorers, we are also dipping into those economies and bringing that revenue into the company. So if you don't have a spirit of adventure, you're not going to be able to sort of explore new possibilities. Um, so yeah, so I think that stems from more of a spirit of adventure. And then so you adventure, you go into a new place, you meet the people, and this is what I do, right? So I tell them what I do, and I think what I do is amazing. I think I make pretty phenomenal products. So I want to share it with as many people as I can. And it's as basic as that for me, really.
You see, aside from you talking about being adventurous, I also spotted something again. When you believe you have something to share, all right, when you believe or you know, not just believe, you believe and know it that you have a lot to share, a lot of value to bring on board. You just want to be able to spread what you know and what you have to other people. So I spotted that again, while you were talking. And then secondly, the you said, you've had to do events to help them to grow as well. The love for people also came in there. So I think the moment you have love for people, love brings you to a point of wanting to see other people win. All right. And in
Absolutely.
seeing other people win, you get to like, okay, so what do I have, that will help you to grow? And
Absolutely.
in doing that, automatically you're collaborating and you're doing business. So I think what's usually happened to us, because we see Ebo doing great, succeeding, we just want to be that person. But we do not want to start with the foundational fundamentals of life, which is love people, have value, be ready to share those value. Okay, so let's talk about visibility. What is visibility for you? For some people, visibility will mean showing up everywhere, getting recognized, be the first person in the room to speak. What is visibility and how has that impacted on your business as well?
What is visibility?
Hmm.
Um, well, there's something I say, right? I say whenever you have a microphone, whenever you have an opportunity to speak, take it and make it count. And I think I remember the Oscar, was it the Oscars? What was the award that Oprah won where she gave that Time's Up speech that just sort of shook the world? Um, but it's also important to have content, so we can't always be visible. It's only the people who read that can write. It's only the people who feed themselves um, with value that can then feed others. Um, so I am really not about visibility for visibility's sake. I understand the place for social media. I actually struggled with social media for the longest time. I had to train myself and really break out of it and I think I started feeling comfortable speaking more when I turned 40. You just kind of feel like, okay, you have something to say now. You've done 40 years on earth, even though, I feel like I've also done many lifetimes in this one lifetime. Um, but I started to get a bit more comfortable speaking um, at that age, and it was because I felt I had something to say and I had something to share. And when I do have, and I'm really a natural PR person, because when I find something that is fantastic, I want the whole world to know. If I come across a thought or a book or a movie or anything, I really want to share it. When I found Arnheim, the place, I wanted as many people, to share it as well. I remember my sister gave me this powder. She's in America. She gave me this powder, and I was with my other sister, in Dubai, and I was like, Bolaji, this powder is amazing. Can you go? Try, like as though I was getting paid by the company but I was so passionate about this powder. I wanted to share anyway, I ended up leaving the powder with her, and that's just how I am. I discovered, I don't know, barbecue somewhere that I think is amazing. I was like, hey, you have to try this. Or I actually even try something at home. Maybe I make a nice, banana bread or a carrot bread. I want other people to try it. I want other people. That's just because I don't know. I think life is more delightful when the delights are shared. That's sort of how I see life, I think. It's so interesting. Like I've never really thought deeply about these things until you're asking. So this is good. So it is when I have. So I don't believe in visibility for visibility's sake. I think it can be a bit of a nuisance if you're just making noise. I mean, it's clear. It's clear to people watching and listening that this person is just making noise. Like after 2 seconds, you kind of like maybe you're smiling and listening out of courtesy's sake, but truly you know that there's nothing here. But when you're full, and you have content to share, it will impress upon you to do so, I think. And this is my experience anyway. It impresses upon me to do so, and then I do so, and people find it valuable, and then it's visible, and they find it valuable, and then it makes sense. So basically, visibility without value is is a bit of a
Oh dear.
as your visibility without value is a bit of a vice. So yeah.
Visibility without value.
Yeah.
And you see, I think I don't want to be gender specific. I was going to say that's where, but I think things have changed. Things that have changed. But I was going to say that's where a lot of women are missing out. You see a beautiful woman, a beautiful, well-shaped young lady, and she can have a strong conversation and all of that. But I want to say that, well, it's a thing of the past, but a lot of things have changed. You get to also see men as well. That you see a very handsome man, and then, the man has nothing to offer in terms of, his mind and all of that. So it's really very key for, in as much as, you are. Sorry, let me do something about this. In as much as you are
One of my
someone, you know.
stands.
Sorry?
I said you need one of my light stands.
Let there be light.
Woohoo! Elaborate. Tell me,
Okay,
elaborate.
so, okay, so Humanorish says, please, how can you make yourself full so people can listen to you? Good question. How can you make yourself full so people can listen to you? I think you started by saying content. So please hit this question from Humanorish.
Okay, so there are 8 billion of us on Earth, and so content for you may be relevant to me. So what you want to do is, and I'm going to check for the charger for this phone. Can you please let me bring it from my room? Thanks. So content for you needs to be tied to what you're passionate about. So decide and define and identify what you are passionate about, and focus on feeding yourself with content on that thing. You'll find that your unique journey will make it such that you will have a unique offering to bring to the table. So when people are looking for somebody, okay, this one, thanks. When they're looking for somebody who, I get a lot of calls from everywhere about, something about brand building, knowing who you are, and oh no, what am I going to do now? Okay. I'm trying to decide what to put out. Knowing who you are, or coconuts, they call me. So you must, it's really important to focus, and you can't be everywhere. You cannot be all things to all men. What did I just do? So my light, I think I turned it off. Did I turn it off?
Dear.
My ring light, I think
It's
I turned
off.
it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's back
it's
on.
off. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's my special ring light that went off. Can you lower it down, guys? So it's once you are clear about what your focus is, what you're passionate about, it's easy for you to invest your time in building content around that, and then little by little, people will start to ask for your voice in that area. I hope that answers the question, Ume Nourish.
Yes, yes. Okay. So, Orange, did she answer your question? I think she did, but please, it's your question. Let's know. All right. And if you're not satisfied, please let us know as well in the comment section. If you have a question or two for my guest, EBun Feludu, the founder of Jams, help me now. I
Jam,
need to
the
write it
coconut
down.
food company. There's no S. Jam, the coconut food company.
Jam the Coconut Company. All right. They're into all kinds of coconut produce or products, from flakes, coconut flakes, to coconut oil, and all the variants, with the lemongrass and all that. By the way, I love that coconut oil with the lemongrass, and I think it was one of your signature products. You once
So
gave that
coconut
to me.
lemongrass
I
is
loved
one of
it.
our
I
signature ones.
loved
Let
it.
me
People
see
were
if I can.
asking for it.
This is the bottle actually. That's our coconut lemongrass
Right.
oil.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Towards the tail end, I like to get to also have a relationship with some of your products. So please help me to get them close. I know you have them close. I trust you.
And I'm worried.
Okay. Okay.
Let me
So,
call my PA.
sorry. Say that
I'm
again.
going to call my PA, my son, to bring them closer. And I'm worried.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so now marketing seems to be like
Coconut
one
flakes,
of
coconut cinnamon balls, coconut balls, whatever you can find. Please bring it closer. Thank you.
one of the most seems like to be one of the most tedious things or skill, to get by when it comes to business,
I need
when
more,
it
and I'm
comes
worried.
to having relationship with other people and having to tell people what to do. How can we become better marketers?
All different products, bowls, CC balls. How can we do it? We just have to do it, my sister. Marketing is what brings in the cash. Cash is the lifeblood of the business. Bowls. And if you do not market your products, first of all, nobody can market a product like the owner of the business. So, I was thinking about it today because this week I went with my sales staff and my and another one from a company I'm a director in, and I asked them to follow me. And so we did cold calls to places that we didn't know anybody in. And so, thank you. So I was basically talking through my thought process and how comparing it to how they do it. And I just realized that, we take rejection in our marketing journey personally. So if somebody goes, and I'll tell you, for instance, the people at EBun, and I opened a lot of the doors, like I closed a lot of the deals that we have, most of them. So the people at EBun that are, that decide whether or not your products will be taking are very, very young, very, very young. They're probably half or a third of my age, and when they're telling you, sit down, stand up, go there, if you're going to take it personally, you're never going to move forward. You just take it in their stride. They're the orgas over there, and you want to get your products in, you simply have to do it. So we need to separate our personal selves from the business so that when we get a rejection, because you will get quite a lot of rejection, when we get a rejection, we don't take it personally, because when we're able to separate ourselves from a no or rejection, we can move on. So I was thinking about it just this morning, actually, just randomly. Like, it's really important to throw people into situations that forces them to become resilient in the face of no. So expose them to no's and no's and no's. And I teach my own children, like, I don't take no for an answer. So come to ask me for something and I say no, and they walk away so quickly. I said, why are you giving up so easily? Come with another pitch. Come with another angle. Come with another reason why I should turn my no into a yes. And so I've been pretty intentional. And for us who have kids, I've been pretty intentional about exposing them to trade shows very early, so that the way they can swim at this early age, they can also market. It's nothing to them. It's nothing to them. But as people, so for us who have kids, if you have a business, you want to transfer it to them, marketing and pitching. Marketing is pitching, it's sales. It's very important that we can teach our next generation that skill very early, because it's key to cash flow. Take that aside. That's second generation. What about now? Expose yourself to a lot of no's so that you can build your resilience, because you have to be resilient to keep going after 10 no's.
Apparently, Ebun, let me come in there. It then, as you're talking, it then occurred to me that probably one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people don't like marketing is the stance of rejection, facing rejection.
Yep. That's what it is, because they're taking it and internalizing it. It's not about you. They're not rejecting you. They're saying no to what you're offering. And so you need to learn how to pitch it, or how to turn their nose into your yes. Understand why they're saying no. Learn from every no, first of all. Learn from every no. Understand why they're saying no. Reinvent the wheel if you need to make sure that those no's are yeses. One of the things we did very early was, our coconut cinnamon balls, I waited for about 2 years before I brought the packaging out. So this is our coconut cinnamon balls, and these are our coconut flakes. It makes the job super easy for our marketer, because we spent a lot of time thinking about the emotional. I wanted people to look at products and I want to trigger emotion. So doing that back work is important. It makes your work of marketing easier. If you're a product person, if you're a service person, it's a different thing. If you're, so think about all the things, all the reasons why you'll get a no, and try to tick that off ahead of time. That makes your job easier. Or go with your product as it is to the market, listen to all the no's, make sure you ask for why, the why behind the no's, so that you can fix it. Compare. Thank you, Auntie. I see Auntie Mrs. Abdullah is on the call. Oh, by the way, her store is where we got these. Let me see. Can you see these? We got all these beads where we all have our names on the beads. That's
Right.
crafting. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so you need to have a solution to it, because those people saying no, take my industry for example. If it's a supermarket, if it's a, they're saying no, they have their reason. They don't hate you, because they are also looking for products that will help them sell. The only way they are in business is they get a product that is amazing, looks good, tastes amazing, where people will pick it up from the shelf and people will come back. It looks good, they pick it up. It tastes good, they come back. Those two things must be there. So if you're in your marketing, in your solution, you are not able to take care of that, they're going to say no. So understand where the no is coming from, deal with it, and come back to the table. But you have to be resilient in life. You have to. I don't take no for an answer. So even if it's no for now, and that is how I navigate the universe. I navigate the universe. I walk into a room expecting a yes. That also helps, because our mind, we're sending out energy. We're sending out energy. And a lot of people walk into a room begging people to say no to them. You walk in, your head is down, your face is like this, and you expect it no. As soon as you say no, you quickly collect it and run. Posture, energy. I walk into a room expecting a yes. And so even the way I craft my questions or my sentences, it's as though I'm bringing you a piece of heaven. Just say thank you.
Right.
I was back. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it too.
In fact, I think it's probably safe, to say, okay, let's call it a wrap. Number one, I would say networking plus visibility plus marketing equals to profitability from all indication. Let's talk about your products. What makes them unique? Coconut production in Nigeria, how has it been for you, and what makes your own products unique? What is oh my goodness. I see.
What makes
I
our product
see.
unique?
Yes.
Um, we're very committed to making sure that people actually adore our products. So we want it to be a phenomenal experience from any single one of our products. And so we're constantly thinking research and development. We invest a lot in that. We invest a lot in, like I said, those two key things. How does it look? How does it taste? And when it comes to the oils, how does it look? How does it feel? What is the experience? What's the overall experience? So basically, the experience, we're very committed to that experience and creating phenomenal coconut products that are innovative and that products that you can trust, as well. You can trust this brand to always deliver on excellence when it comes to coconut products. So that's
Right.
basically what drives us. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I saw some of your products. Could you tell me about them? Do you have any of the oil essentials?
So yeah, I showed you the coconut lemongrass earlier.
Right.
This is,
Oh,
yeah, this
you
was
still
what
have that?
I told. Yeah, we do. We have the coconut, NAFDAC and everything. Coconut lemon, coconut lemongrass, coconut lavender. These are coconut flakes. It's loved by the bakers and the parfait makers and the snackers. They're very coconutty. They're very, it has a strong coconut essence. And why people love ours differently is because it it blends beautifully with yogurt and ice cream, and it works fantastic. If you want a big like coconut oatmeal cookies, this is what you want, and that sort of thing. And it's available in all the shop rides. It's available. It's all over the place. The coconut bowl, because we don't believe in waste. There's no part of the coconut that goes to waste. This is a shell from a coconut, and this is what I eat my food in. So I eat something like I don't know, ewedu and sweet potato flour. My soup comes here, and I eat
Wow.
it like that. Or curry for my rice, or even snacks like popcorn, um, potato chips, sweet potato chips, whatever. So it's great presentation. A lot of restaurants use them for like their isiewu and things like that, or pepper soup, that sort of thing. So,
Fantastic.
we're always trying to see what we can create to make sure that we have zero waste, because coconuts are very expensive. And so the only way
Right.
we can make good money is being able to use every part of the coconut to add value to it and add value to our customers.
How lucrative is the coconut industry? I know I begin to see a lot of coconut oil flakes here and there and all of that. It seems like it's a lucrative
It's very
industry,
hard
yeah?
work. It's very hard work, but it's also very lucrative.
Fantastic. Wow. Okay, so before IG runs us out, all right, I want to say very, very big thank you to you for coming on my live show. And you're one of the many women, I don't want to say few because there are plenty for my life. You're one of the many women that I love to always have in my corner. And I always thank God for having you in my corner. Because, like I said earlier on, you're brilliant. You're not just beautiful, like they said, beautiful without brain. You're not one of them, and you bring a lot, a lot. In fact, too much safe. I think over brilliance, they worry you safe. That's you bring a lot to the table, and I want to appreciate you for what you do for women in the agriculture industry and in as entrepreneurs. I want to thank you for being a lot of support to the network of women who come to your corner. Thank you so much, Evan. And probably before we go, your last word for someone who is just going to watch and be wondering, how can I become like this, or who has challenge with visibility, networking, marketing to achieve profitability? What would your word be to that person tonight?
Um, hmm. My word would be that you already have it in you. Trust me. Um, I don't think that any one of us is unique. I always say to people that I honestly believe I can fly. One of my missions on earth is to infect everybody else, as many people as I can, with the spirit that they can fly. And I guarantee you, whoever is watching, if you're on live now or it's the replay, you have everything inside you to be the most phenomenal human that you can be. Trust me, just trust me, and look in, tap it, and draw everything out. The answer is already inside you. God doesn't make mistakes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, in case you're just joining, I see Coconut County or
Such a
Country,
pleasure.
one of your people. Thank you very much, Crafties, for all. Thank you, everyone. You Minorish for asking your question. Thank you, everybody. I saw a lot of people from all Ladies League Nigeria. Thank you all for joining, for your support. I've been talking with my dear sister, my friend, my ally, my hangout sister, my what else? My party sister. Yes, you know. I've been talking to the one and only EBun Feludu. She is the founder, the CEO of Jam, the coconut food company. All right, Jam, the coconut food company. All right. So, in case you like to hook up with her, her handle on IG is the Jam Coconut.
That's coconut foods.
Right. Okay. So great. Thank you
Coconut.
so much, and do have yourself a good evening. Please send me well to the boys, your P8.
Will do. Will do.
All right then.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.